everybody! Welcome to the Pony Cast. It's the best pony podcast, the best pony boys. Me and Gib. I'm Captain Starboard Bow. This is my partner in crime, Gib and Take. Here we are. We're on a pirate ship. It's the only My Little Pony podcast that takes place on a pirate ship in the middle of the ocean, and it's not a pirate. It's not actually a podcast. We don't even know that we're being recorded. It's the only one of that kind, to my knowledge, at least. And oh, look at that! We've picked up a new crew member this
brand
week.
New
Another new guy.
Bro.
Who's that? Who's that boy?
It's Max Hinchliff. It's the green boy with the hook on his hoof, which is funny because like you would think, like a hook is like for disabled ponies, but that just makes him more abled than us. That just gives him like stuff that on top of his.
That's true.
Hoof.
There's more stuff that you can do with a hook than there is with a hoof. Maybe we should all have hooks.
Yeah.
Maybe we should all have 4 hooks.
That would be pretty cool. We could climb the rigging. We could. I don't think we could walk, but you know that'd be cool.
He doesn't need to walk. He can just he can climb. He can climb all the what you said. Climb up and climb down and climb side to side. What a valuable asset to have on this pirate ship, on this expedition. What a great what a great acquisition for us here on the SS Friendship.
Yes.
What a great guy. What a great adventures we'll have. He's a cutie pie. He's a little green boy. He's cutie.
Yeah.
Max Hinchliff. That's a cool name. It sounds like he sounds like some guy in a business suit who like travels the nation in a boxcar, stealing wives, seducing them with his sexy hook hoof.
Yes, and he is one of our patrons as well. If you want to be on the ship as well, you can go to patreon.com/ponycast and sign up for the $25 reward, which is you get to be on the boat, and that's what Max did. That's what Spooker did, and we're all happy about that. So you can go there, patreon.com/ponycast with 2 E's.
Do it!
Yeah!
Do it today! And talking about doing it today, let's do it today! Podcast. This week's episode was about Fluttershy. There we go, yeah.
Yeah. So, this episode was called, Fluttershy is a good pony, and we all love her. Fluttershy's good. That's the name of the episode.
My Little Pony, Season 7, Episode 5, What He Said.
And, yeah, it's a Fluttershy episode about basically a culmination of every one of Fluttershy's lessons over the course of the series. She's taken all those baby steps, and now we're getting to, like, seeing full steps. We see a full step.
This was I felt this was a good episode. It kind of weirded me out with the way it ended, but I'll get to that. I feel like there's a lot to unpack about this episode. The first thing to unpack was the doctor pony. What was her name? I don't remember.
Vet pony.
Dr. Vet girl.
Yeah.
Horse. So this pony was notable to me for having the worst, laziest cutie mark design I've ever seen in my life, just about.
Oh, I didn't notice it.
She's a veterinarian. Her cutie mark was just like clip art of 3 animals' faces, a dog and a cat and a bird. This is a point that I've raised once before, long ago in my Horseshoe Reviews Magical Mystery Cure video, of how the character designers have seemed to have forgotten the purpose or the point of cutie marks. When Lauren Faust designed the main 6, the cutie marks were very iconic, metaphorical images, and it seems like the more and more background ponies or new characters get introduced, nowadays a lot of the cutie marks are just like clip art telling you exactly what the pony does. I hated this cutie mark. It's just a dog and a cat and a bird. It's boring. It's lame clip art. There's no thought put into it, no creativity put into it. It's a bad show. It's a 0 out of 10. This is the last episode of the Pony Cast. We're all gonna go overboard in a maelstrom.
I do remember a good example of that was I think when Reading Rainbow, whatever that episode was, where she was in the hospital and the doctor had literally like a heart monitor on his as a cutie mark, like a beep 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 thing, just a machine.
Oh yeah.
But I don't really mind too much. I mean, there's a lot of ponies and they all have to have a cutie mark, and I guess if there's you just don't have the time or resources to dedicate to, because I didn't even notice that a cutie mark looked stupid. I wasn't looking there, so I don't think it's too big of a deal, but yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah, but enough nitpicking. Let's get into the meat of this with some real hardcore reviewing, recapping, and reanalysising.
Yeah. First point.
This.
I want to say quick is Action Giraffe makes his debut in this episode.
Oh my God, you're right, he did!
It's Action
He
Giraffe.
was at the vet he was finally getting cured of his AIDS.
Yes.
Desperately in search of a cure for his AIDS. We don't know for sure if he found that cure,
somehow,
but he's on the road to recovery.
Somehow he made it all the way from the human world, whatever that is.
He made his way to
Equestria.
he
My
made
Pony world, yes.
He made a very long noose, and he got to Equestria.
Yeah, so what were you going to say?
There's no cure for AIDS in this world, dudes. I have to move on to the pony world.
He did it. Our boy graduated from real life to a better life. So this was an episode all about the delicate balance of commission and the challenges that arise for both parties therein. And this is a situation that I've certainly been in. I feel like I've been on both sides of this conflict. I feel like most people have been in a conflict similar to this, where you're just commissioning someone and you feel like they're not getting it. You want them to do something for you because you can't do it yourself. And it feels like they're just not listening, or they are listening and they're just not getting it. And you don't want to micromanage because obviously they're the expert, and you know that that's annoying. It's annoying to be the guy getting commissioned and having a guy micromanaging, but at the same time, when it's your vision, you just want them to do it right and just listen. And sometimes it's just a hard balance of what's the word? Etiquette. A hard balance of etiquette.
Compromise
involved. Yeah, in whether to just. In what degree you're going to micromanage the experts in this field that you have brought in.
Yeah, I thought it was... I mean, last time we were talking about, like, main six ponies still being able to learn new things. And I really like that this was a Fluttershy episode because, in any earlier season, when all these people say, actually, I'm not sure about your idea, she would have said, oh, okay. But this time she was, she was determined, she was making sure that her plan was the one that they agreed to, but they just went behind her back anyway. It was a different problem that she hadn't dealt with. It was always her fault that things weren't going right. But now it's her putting trust in people that are assholes.
The moral of this episode was that Fluttershy was right. Everyone's wrong but me. All these people are idiots. All the experts don't know anything.
And basically,
I'm the best.
I just really like it because it's a Flutter. I mean, the characters did call her Flutter bold. It was all like, yeah. Fluttershy's she's real grown up. She has a dream.
Pinkie Pie said,
suddenly.
Maybe we should call you Flutter Bold from now on. And I thought she was gonna say Flutter Bitch. It sounded so like for that one half of a nanosecond. I'm like, oh my God. I guess we should call you Flutter Bitch from now on. Yeah! And then they all get in a circle and start chanting, Flutter Bitch! Flutter! They raise her on their shoulders and carry her out to there's a parade. Flutter Bitch! Flutter Bitch! She's really happy about it. She being called a bitch is the ultimate, the peak of her character development. It's what she's been aiming towards this whole time.
I like that idea. But yeah, it's I mean, she's had problems before by being too forceful. Being actually a bitch, being a horrible person by being confident, and now she's sort of she's taken those baby steps.
Yeah.
And now she's found a middle ground. She's now basically normal. She's basically a normal pony.
Exactly. She's found her equilibrium, the bitch equilibrium. So the central conflict of this is basically Fluttershy having to say to these people, "Don't tell me what I want. Don't tell me," and them saying to her, "Don't tell us how to do our job," but she's saying that to them. There's this great rant that she goes on where she's really giving it to these guys because they didn't listen. They are the experts. They know what they're doing, but they don't listen. Nobody ever listens, and she's going on this big rant, and I was feeling her 100%.
Yeah,
She's like,
I really love that.
I might not be the expert on how to architecture. I might not be the expert on how to make a cage or a drapes, but damn it, I am the expert on taking care of animals and you're not. This is my vision. You will do as I say. You will listen to me. You will follow my orders. Fuck you! And I was like, yeah.
I also, it's just so satisfying to see that not only she was sticking up for herself, but it was just such a thing that, you know, everyone's dealt with people thinking they know better than you.
Yeah. Criticizing your vision without understanding your vision.
And not only that, but she was like paying them, right? They were, you know, under her orders. She's the boss. They just went against orders. Like just even if they had like a better idea, that's shit. Don't do that. Don't go against orders, even if you think it's a good idea, because fuck you generally.
Yeah, and I mean, that's basically the conflict of any commission work. I mean, you don't want to be a bitch. You don't want to micromanage these people because they are the experts in their field, and that's why you hired them. But at the end of the day, you did hire them, and you are paying them, and you have to sort of be in charge, especially when your vision is on the line, and especially if it's something that hasn't been done before, and you know what it is, and no one else knows what your vision is because no one's seen it before. That's when you gotta take the reins. You gotta say, hey, you dummies, I'm cool, you're not. Fuck you.
You know, I'm thinking about what I just said. I think it's okay if somebody argues with you and then makes you come to a better decision.
Yeah.
But if they just go behind your back, even if they have a better decision, that's when it's...
Well, here's what I really thought the episode was, like, going towards. I thought it was going in the direction, because it seemed like it was going in this direction of compromise, where Fluttershy would, you know, realize that she can't do it on her own, and realize that even though the experts weren't listening, maybe she would have to explain herself better or be more patient with them, and she would have to find a way to work together with the people she hired. And, you know, I thought that's the direction it was going in. It didn't go in that direction. It went totally in the opposite direction of saying, no, Fluttershy was right all along. These guys are idiots. Which I both... It felt weird, but I also appreciated it.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the show does tend to lean towards compromise because it's, you know, that's the whole point of the show, really. But sometimes in real life, sometimes you just are right, and everyone else around you is an idiot, and sometimes they just aren't listening. And sometimes, if you want something done right, do it yourself. And that ended up being the real moral of this episode, which I thought was interesting and kind of ballsy for My Little Pony to go that route.
It's why I was so happy that it was like a Fluttershy thing and the whole confidence thing, because it's like it really is like a different sort of problem. It's not about compromise, it's about like despite her seeming confident, because it would have made more sense if they didn't listen to her because they thought she was like too meek and they could overpower her, but they just didn't do what she wanted because she had an idea and they just didn't agree with it. It wasn't about her being shy. It was just about creative differences and them not respecting her because she's I don't know, pink or something. And yeah, it's good. I like it. I like it when somebody's right and that's it. It's a nice new spin.
And I think what really made it come together at the end, what really made the sort of the moral or lesson learned of Fluttershy just doing it herself, what made it work is that she still couldn't have done it herself. She didn't do it herself. The only thing that changed is that instead of trusting the experts that she had commissioned, this time she trusted her friends who know her and understand her vision.
And this weird old pony from like from an
this
episode.
Weird old pony from like a random season 6 episode that no one remembers.
Yeah, it was. I remember it being like a kind of like exactly copy of like an old story, and he was basically a nothing character, and they made him an actual character by bringing him back, which is, I don't know whether that's amazing or not, but I like it.
Yeah, like they brought him back. Like, what was his name? Like
old blue fuck with tall hat.
Old blue Southern Tooth came in, and like when he came in, like I didn't remember this character because I didn't remember the episode. But what made it funny was that like the other, like Twilight remembered him, and Twilight was like, "Oh my God, old blue Southern Tooth, you're here!" And I'm like, "Huh?" Because I didn't remember him at first. So it came off to me like Twilight just randomly knows some weird old Southern prospector. But then she mentioned, oh yeah, we met in this. She like looked at the camera and said like, in case you don't know, we met this character in season 6, episode whatever. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay.
I do appreciate moments like that. Like in the pilot for, well, not the pilot, the premiere for this season, they explained what happened at the end of the last one because I didn't watch it and now I get it. It's just like,
Yeah.
you know, real people don't have time to watch every single episode of My Little Pony and remember everything. So it's just nice, like, yes, this is what this is from. Don't worry about it. You don't need to watch that episode. It's good.
Yeah, so she did get one guy who knew about animals, but for the most part, it seemed like her friends ended up being the ones who help her out. And that seems like... I like the idea of making the case for sometimes experts are experts, but sometimes your friends might understand your vision better than a stranger ever could. I relate to this a lot with you know, what we do, because people do a lot of collabs when it comes to like YouTube and like stuff that we do, and there's very, very few people who I would ever trust to collab with, because I'm very particular about my vision and my ideas and my weirdness.
Yeah, what you're saying is it's hard to find like-minded people, and sometimes if your friends aren't experts, they may still be right for the job. It cuts away like hours of explaining ideas and thoughts and trying to translate into their, you know, different way of thinking. Like if you're working with anyone professional, it's way easier if you're friends with them. And yeah.
So the other thing that I wanted to touch on is that right off the bat in this episode, I was very happy to see this, in that this episode gave Fluttershy a goal to accomplish, or a dream to aspire to, because, I mean, start to, like, a character like Fluttershy, what can she do in Season 7? Because, I mean, people have complained about Fluttershy forever, like, you know, how many times can she learn the same lesson over and over again? How many times can she learn like how to stand up for herself? And of course, all of this is nonsense that I've completely debunked in my award-winning Horseshoe Review Hurricane Fluttershy, as well as my character analysis video that you can see on this very channel. But you know, the idea that Fluttershy hasn't evolved as much or hasn't evolved enough, I disagree with it. But I see where it comes from, and I think a big part of where it comes from is just the fact that she's never had a goal to work towards. You look at, you know, Twilight's arc of becoming a princess. You look at Rarity's arc. She had this dream of becoming a fashionista and owning a boutique in Canterlot, and she does now. Rainbow Dash wanted to be a Wonderbolt, and she is now. So these are very clear lines of progression that we can see for these characters and see, okay, these characters have achieved their thing, now it's time for Starlight to do stuff. But at the same time, you also have characters in the main 6 like Pinkie Pie and Applejack and Fluttershy who always seem relatively content with where they are. They don't have huge aspirations. Pinkie just wants to be friends with everybody and be a nice person. Applejack just wants to be with her family and hang out in Ponyville and work on the farm. Fluttershy just seems like she just wants to be left alone and hang out with her animals, and in this episode, you know, she finally got a goal. It only lasted for one episode because she accomplished it completely, like that. That's why Fluttershy, you know, never had a goal. That's why it seemed like she wasn't developing, because Fluttershy is such a get-it-done bitch. She's such a no-nonsense, you know, if you can't do something right, do it your damn self. Because if she had had a goal from the beginning, she would have done it in the first episode, and then she really would have had nowhere to go. She's the best character. She's the best person. She's like, you know what? I've just decided that I've always wanted to make an animal sanctuary. The first ever animal sanctuary in Equestria, because I guess they don't exist yet in this world. That's been my dream forever, apparently. And I'm going to accomplish it in 20 minutes. And she did. She did it. She's the best character. Everyone else, go sit in the corner and think about what you've done.
Yeah, I was going to say exactly that, like, the whole, like, suddenly a dream. She did mention that, She had this dream, but she was too, like, afraid to bring it up because she wasn't confident enough in herself, but she's had this dream for a while, which is like playing into the whole, like, you know, the baby steps. I keep going back to that, but I really like the fact that, you know, it seems like she's been learning the same lesson over and over again for a few episodes, but it really was just building to the point where she was confident enough to be, you know, to be completely forthright with her real plan and a dream and make it a reality finally. She's that sort of person who just hides away, working on her masterpiece and then never tells anybody, and everyone thinks she's just a shut-in and and she doesn't care about anything. And then she comes in and she says, "Actually, I've been working on this for 20 years, and here it is, boom." And then everyone's like, "Whoa, you're actually cool. You're Flutter bitch now, everybody. Flutter bitch.
Flutter bitch. Flutter bitch.
Flutter bitch." Exactly.
Yeah.
I love it. I love Fluttershy's arc. Fluttershy's arc is, I mean, it's been slow, but I think it like makes sense for it to be slower than the others.
Yeah, I feel like it's always been sort of the most realistic. It's realistically slow.
Yeah. And now we just, I think Applejack probably has a bit of an arc to do.
Yeah.
With like nurturing Apple Bloom. I think Apple Bloom will have to grow up and sort of
Yeah.
something will to do with Apple Bloom, because Applejack is a family girl, and
And maybe because it's been slow, maybe it feels all the more rewarding in this episode to see, hey, I guess it was leading to something. I guess it was culminating to something. It might not have been the plan all along by the writers, but whether they pulled it out of their ass or not, it worked. It worked really well.
It's a good Fluttershy. I like it. I kind of was expecting it to be like, oh, here we go, Fluttershy's doing something, and then she'll have done something, I guess, like that.
Yeah.
But it's nice. It plays into everything she has as a character. It's a Fluttershy culmination.
So this was a pretty great episode, I think. The mod one was great. The ones I think that season 7 is shaping up to be. If it keeps going at this rate of quality, this could be like the best season since season 4. There's only been one episode that didn't grab me, and it was the baby episode, but even that episode was pretty good. So, I'm liking season 7 so far a lot.
Yeah, I am as well. I really wasn't thinking about the possibility of it being actually kind of terrible. I just was excited to get into ponies again, and it really just so happens to be the perfect time to do so. So, I'm really happy with it. I can't wait to see the next friend that Starlight gets. I can't wait to see a Rainbow Dash episode. I wonder what's going to happen with her. Like, she's a Wonderbolt
I can't
now.
wait to see, what does being a Wonderbolt entail for Rainbow Dash? We've seen her achieve her dream. It's going to be all the more interesting to see how achieving that dream affects her life now. Where does she go from here? That's sort of what I was talking about in the last episode, where, characters never have to stop developing as long as they're well-written characters with personalities and the continuity keeps moving forward. I can't wait to see where everyone goes. all the new stuff.
Oh, I can't wait to see Diamond Tiara again. She's friends with the CMC. I want to see her be friends with the CMC. Please write her into an episode. I want to see her. I want to see her, being a good girl. God damn it. Apparently she didn't appear at all in season 6 as a character with any sort of speaking lines. So I'm really excited to see if they bring her back, because she had a redemption arc, and I want to see what happens. God damn it, I want to see Diamond Tiara so bad. Oh my god.
Yeah.
She's my favorite.
Do it. Get on it, writers. Do it.
Yeah.
Do it or you're going to walk the plank.
Yes. Walk
Cool.
that plank. Alright, thank you for watching the Ponycast, everybody. Patreon.com/Ponycast. And yes, that's
Join
that's
the crew. Be on here. Be on the ship. Do it.
Do it right now.